Will Jamie show up to his father's funeral, whose death he's partly responsible for? We are about to find out in Yellowstone, Episode 14. Episode 13 was a slow one, with the majority of it covering the auction and an unusual spotlight on Travis and Taylor Sheridan's major ego. Besides that, all eyes were on Jamie as he struggled to run away from incoming accusations, tying him to John Dutton's murder. While many are complaining that Episode 13 was too dull, I think it's exactly what the show needs as it nears an explosive ending, as teased in the Episode 14 trailer. The tension is palpable, with alliances crumbling and every character pushed to their breaking point. You don't really need a trailer to tell that Beth's pent-up anger will explode in the finale, and Yellowstone's fate will be made clear, possibly forever altering the Dutton legacy. But, most importantly, it will leave fans of the show a little heartbroken and lost. If you shed a tear or two when Rip let go of the ranch staff in Episode 13, then Episode 14 is guaranteed to result in waterworks, if the trailer is anything to go by. If you're enjoying this content and want to see more Yellowstone updates, be sure to like this video. It really helps the channel grow. And if you know other fans of the show, hit that share button to spread the word. Your support keeps these videos coming and helps build our community of Yellowstone fans. Now, let's get into what's next for the Dutton family. So far, fans believe that all conflicts in the show are not even close to being resolved. How would it be possible for Jamie to meet his fate in a single episode? These questions have led to sequel speculations or a possible Season 6, but this is a subject for another day. The finale teaser does, however, hint that Jamie may meet his end for good. The teaser for the final episode, described as the special season finale event, note the word season, not series, sets a somber tone right from the start. It opens with Beth telling Rip, "Funeral home called, he's ready. We're doing it today." She's likely referring to her father, John, and asking Rip to be by her side at the funeral. The funeral for John Dutton takes center stage in the rest of the teaser, marking a pivotal moment in the series. One of the cutscenes shows people walking to the Dutton family cemetery, Beth crying outside with her hand over her mouth at the funeral. The next cut shows Rip, Casey, and Lloyd all dressed in funeral black, carrying John Dutton's casket out of what looks like the barn. To think that this is the last time the Dutton patriarch will ever get to walk through the Yellowstone ranch is gut-wrenching, which makes this scene all the more special. For fans who have followed the ups and downs of this family, this moment is bound to be emotional, regardless of their opinions on how the season handled John Dutton's death. Bidding farewell to Kevin Costner's character symbolizes the end of an era for Yellowstone as the series turns the page on its powerful patriarch. Despite John Dutton's passing, his presence continues to loom large over the story. As the episodes following his death have made clear, his legacy and the battle to protect the Dutton land will not end with his burial. A poignant reminder comes from Thomas Rainwater, who tells either Beth or Casey, "I made a promise to your father once. Your people are buried in that land, and so are mine." Rainwater's words underline the unshakable ties between the Duttons, their allies, and the land they fight to preserve. Those who have watched all seasons would know that things weren't always smooth between Rainwater and John Dutton. But this unlikely allegiance stems from their united respect and yearning for the land. Beth recalls earlier in the season to Rainwater that John respected him, and we, as viewers, watched the mutual respect unfold over the seasons. Casey, however, seems to be taking his father's funeral particularly hard. The preview shows Monica running to hug him, followed by a shot of Case breaking down in tears, visibly overwhelmed by the weight of his grief. We saw in the last episode that Casey is still working to save the ranch, but he's mostly given up on punishing his father's murderer, but he's clearly still processing the death of John Dutton. The camera transitions from Casey's emotional moment to Rip standing alone in the cemetery, throwing a shovel to the ground. Rip's voice narrates, "Some people deal with death differently," hinting at the varying ways the characters are processing their loss. While Casey and Beth break down in tears, Rip is most likely processing his loss by expressing anger and isolating himself. From there, the teaser shifts gears. The mourning gives way to a simmering tension as the focus pivots to revenge. A series of quick, intense shots show Mo wearing ceremonial face paint, leading a group of supporters on horseback at night. That cut left me confused. What could possibly be the reason Mo had to run to the ranch in the middle of night with riders? Is it for a protest? Or does he have some wild agenda to get the ranch back from the governor's claws? The scene is almost warlike, which quickly cuts to Beth walking with a determined purpose, a shirtless Casey in a moment of vulnerability, Jamie driving a car with a nervous expression, and a man in a cowboy hat stepping out of a truck and lighting a match. The scene brims with anticipation, suggesting that the grief over John Dutton's death is set to erupt into a wave of action and confrontation in the final episode. However, one standout detail is Jamie driving a car in anger, and he's driving a bit too fast. Next, we see an unknown character setting a car on fire. Could these two scenes be connected? Fans may recall from the original Season 5, Part 2 trailer that Rip is the one who lights the match. He tosses it into the back of an SUV, setting it ablaze, before jumping into his truck with Lloyd and speeding away from the flames. But whose vehicle is it? And what's the significance of this act? Could it be Rip who actually avenges John Dutton instead of Beth? That would certainly be a shocking twist, given Rip's unwavering loyalty to John and his deep love for Beth. But maybe not so shocking after all. We know Rip has it in him, and maybe he learns about Beth's secret, and that sets him over the edge in regards to Jamie. I'm still waiting for that one to come out, but maybe it never will. The teaser closes with a chilling moment. Beth leaning down to her father's casket, whispering, "I will avenge you." This sets the stage for what is likely to be a dramatic and emotionally charged showdown, with Jamie firmly at the center of the storm. The animosity between Beth and Jamie has been escalating for years, and it feels inevitable that their conflict will finally reach its boiling point in the finale. The car detail does hint at a potential accident, but I think that type of ending for Jamie would be a bit too unceremonial. It would be more satisfactory to see him pay for his actions, especially with how wild and winding the plot has gotten in recent episodes. Dare I say it even seems unhinged at times? But for a character as deeply intertwined in the show's central conflicts, a more personal and dramatic resolution for Jamie would feel fitting. Watching Jamie confront the full weight of his choices and finally face accountability would deliver the satisfaction fans are craving. As Yellowstone approaches the conclusion of Season 5, and perhaps the series itself, the stakes have never been higher. Whether it's through grief, revenge, or legacy, every character is grappling with the impact of John Dutton's death. The final episode is primed to deliver a mix of closure and explosive drama, ensuring that the series leaves its mark on fans. Whether Beth avenges her father, Rip takes matters into his own hands, or this twist sets the stage for another season or a prequel, all will be revealed in the Yellowstone season finale on Sunday. Are you planning to watch? Let me know in the comments what you're expecting from this explosive final episode. If you're not watching yet, don't worry, you can catch the episode recap right here on The Modern Cowgirl next week. Make sure to turn on notifications and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the action. And if you enjoyed this preview, show your support by dropping a like on the video.